Sports and Events Golden Ticket Raffle. You could win 2 tickets to more than 50 Minnesota sporting events, including the Twins, the Wild, Timberwolves, Aurora, Lynx, Loons, Frost, Gophers, and more. Now through September 30th, visit mnsegolden.ticket.com for locations, hours, and details on how you can win.
Hey, we're playing Program Password. It's myself, Tenna B, and Lil B versus Paul Charchian from Fantasy Football World, the greatest fantasy football show in the world. And Kevin Gork, who does television work for the Minnesota Wild. And excited to have you back.
Very glad you're back. I was
year.
worried at the end of last year.
I'm excited. Can't wait to see what the final product looks like. We're going to get kind of the unveiling here in the next couple of weeks. But really excited. If the Wild are ever going to take over a broadcast, this is the time to do it. Young, talented team, cup contender. It's going to be a great year.
You're going to elevate that broadcast is what you're going to do this year. It's going to be elevated.
Yep.
Not like that Bumps commercial sandwich I had from my neighbor, Tom Backer.
Gorgie and I were just talking Glencoe.
Oh.
Yeah?
So there's a restaurant in Glencoe called Bumps, and have you ever heard of a commercial sandwich?
Yes,
No.
I know exactly what a commercial is.
So good.
They're so good.
It's an advertisement for a sandwich? Is that what you're saying?
But Gorgie was like, during the break, he was like, I have to tell you that I had a beef commercial from Bumps.
The guy
Really?
from Glencoe and
Lucky.
delivered it. I'm telling you, you need to have a commercial at some
We
point.
got to do a broadcast from Glencoe one of these years. We've never gone back out to the homeland. We got to do a
wanna do it?
Friday show out there.
We'll do it from Bumps. Commercials for everybody.
Yes.
There you go.
Do some bumps. Need some commercials.
Well, you're going to explain what a commercial is to all the listeners? They deserve to know.
Okay, a layer of bread, a
Yep.
layer of mashed potatoes,
Yes.
beef or turkey, your choice, and then the gravy on top.
The whole thing.
Oh, my
The best.
goodness.
That sounds terrific.
It's
Yes.
the best.
What is
It is.
Common doing over there?
I don't know. I thought we had a week away from him. Why is he lingering?
Why?
Why is
Of
he
all
there?
people to come in on a day off.
We have to play.
Is he coming? Yeah, we do have to
we gotta
play.
go.
We have to be back by 2:15.
Okay.
Let's play.
As always, you can watch the second half of Program Password at KFAN.com/watch. Maybe you can see the Common Man in the corner of the camera. Brett, what do we got for a score over there?
The score is Tenna B and Lil B are leading 44-18 at the break.
So what if Church
call that
gets
a blowout.
sick of me?
Yes.
And I've gone like 6 strong, like a Twins pitcher, and I've thrown like 92 pitches. Now you can go to the bullpen and bring in
Common. I like that.
Seriously, I'm okay with it.
We are not. We're trying to improve our winning percentage over
All
here.
right. Take advantage of the sled.
And I'm waiting for the 6 strong.
That's what she said.
Okay.
All right.
Let's play.
All right, let's play. Who's the iPad on?
That's a great. Yes, so it is Gorg and Tenna. They have the iPad. Again, you can watch
Yeah.
this, KFAN.com/watch.
You got this, Kevin.
I
Internet.
much prefer this side.
44-18.
I'm guessing. I'm terrible. All right.
All right. The password is tub. All right. Word on there for you. Gorg, you have the option. You like being on that side. What would you like to do?
We're going to go first.
All right.
Kevin, Gorg, and Charch for 10.
Bath.
Room.
Tenna and Lil B for 9.
Spa.
Shower. No.
Over to Gorg and Charch for 8.
Popcorn.
Lil B and Tenna for 7.
Laying.
Float.
Over to Gorg and Charch for 6.
Bubbles.
Over to Lil B
Bubbles
and Tenna for 5.
popcorn have to do with anything.
You'll see.
Furniture.
Lay. You already said lay.
Last but
I hate
not
this game.
least,
You guys can be so mad at us.
Charch
It's over
and
'cause
Gorg.
our suggestions were not good enough.
they have not been good. Charch and Gorg for 4.
Bath.
House.
I just didn't know. I didn't know how to. I should have been able to follow up bath so easily, and I just could not. It's just tub.
Tub. Popcorn tub. Bathtub.
Oh.
bubbles in the tub, lay in the tub.
That should have been a 9-pointer when you said bath, and I could
definitely
not
should've.
follow up.
I was worried about that being a slam dunk.
I didn't like the material it was made of. I couldn't think of that word.
Porcelain.
Yes, that's what I wanted. I couldn't think of it. It was driving me crazy.
Well, I don't know, man.
Okay.
No, we're going to be done in 13 minutes. Let's go.
I think you guys did pretty well, really.
We did okay.
These two champions are just laughing at us over here.
They are Tennaby.
Tenna and Lil B lead 44-18. No one got any points in there. The iPad goes over to Charch and Lil B. The password is scent. Charch, you have the option. What would you like to do?
First.
Charch and Kevin Gorg for 10.
Odor.
Smell.
Lil B and Tenna for 9.
Penny.
Rusty?
Charch and Gorg for 8.
Smell.
Copper.
Lil B and Tenna for 7.
Forwarded.
Aroma.
Charch and Gorg for 6.
Penny.
Shiny.
Lil B and Tenna for 5.
Value.
Finally, Charch and Gorg for 4.
Aroma.
Stench. No idea.
This is a really
Has
great.
anybody-
We're on a time crunch.
Poor Nick Madden's so mad at us right now. He just wants to get out of here.
What was the word?
An odor.
Scent.
Scent.
What was on the screen
How did we not
was
get the candle there,
S-E-N-T.
kids? I mean, I don't know. That one was tough.
Penny is a
Yeah.
scent.
Well, we were going.
Penny
makes
is
a lot-
a scent?
makes a lot more sense.
Penny,
now.
like, one
Yeah,
cent.
Makes a lot more sense now.
trying to
Yeah,
get-
it's a lot easier on your side of the
I
table.
was so thrown off when he said penny. I was like on his route. I had multiple different
Listen
answers.
to me.
Emmett hit
Listen
with the
to
deal.
me.
Just settle down over there. You got a huge lead. Quit being a baby.
We're not Marnie and Corey Cove. Sorry.
Yeah, we're on your level.
We're on a time crunch.
Just a bunch of
iPad-
dumb hockey guys.
44-18 is the
11
score.
minutes.
iPad goes over to Tenna and Gorg.
I miss playing.
Just calm down.
The password is rot. Let's see. Gorg, you have the
Either
option.
looks very happy about this word.
They
Gorg,
haven't looked
what-
happy about any word.
Brandon's rubbing his eyes.
Not that bad. Gorg, what would you like to do?
We'll go first.
Wow.
Say it like you mean it.
Reluctantly going first, Gorg and Charch for 10.
Stale.
Aged.
Over to Tenna and Lil B for 9.
Spoiled.
Rotten.
That had to be it.
No.
Oh, wait.
You got to have her
One
change it.
chance to change, sorry.
Rot.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was hoping you'd
Jump
get.
the gun there.
Yeah.
So, yes, that's 9. Let's see. That's 53.
Thank God.
53-18.
Let's go.
There's your
Lil B and
Wisconsin
Tenna
math
lead.
right there.
That was right. I did that correctly. iPad goes back over to Charch and Lil B. The password is play. Charch, you have the option. What would you like to do? You're down quite a bit.
Stop that. You got the peanut gallery back there, too. That's good stuff.
We're going to go first.
Okay.
We need some big hits.
Gorg and Charch for 10.
Theater.
Movie.
Over to Lil B and Tenna for 9.
Left?
Play.
God almighty. What a layup.
Could do this all day, boys.
I love when Barb gets that just look on her face.
Yeah,
I'm like,
she knows she's got it.
but then I have so much pressure. I'm like, if I don't get this, I'm in huge trouble.
That one was impossible for you not to get after the bit.
I know,
need to
and
think.
you kind of hesitated. I was like, if he doesn't know what I'm doing, what are
Well, the hard part about
what's
this game is
happening?
like you get yourself in this mode of what he just said, and then I have like my thoughts, and then when you come up with something that's completely different,
Right.
and then
Like
you
scent.
panic in 5 seconds. Yeah.
Maybe we do have time to chatter because it is 62-18 is the score. Lil B
That's right.
and Tenna lead.
You know what? The worst lead, the
you
most
go.
dangerous lead in program password is
44 points.
61-18.
Yeah.
We got him right where we want
You
him.
should have just tried to keep it scoreless. All right, here we go. iPad goes over to Gorg and Tenna. The password is Rush. Gorgie, what would you like to do? You have the option.
Second.
Tenna and Lil B for 10.
Hour.
Time.
Over to Gorg in charge for 9.
Hurry.
Tenna and Lil B for 8.
Traffic.
Rush.
Yep.
Yes.
That's it.
Nice.
Sharks gave me the look like he knew it too. So that was a big one, B.
You don't have any big ones when you're up by 50. You're just milking this
We have
thing.
to end this game in 6 minutes. There's a lot of pressure.
It's not going to happen.
People have lost being up that much. I've been one of them.
Yes.
Well, you played 200
I
games.
will
I
always
get it.
take the points.
All right.
I'll admit today I'm not too concerned about it, but generally speaking,
Wow.
Well, we've earned
Church. We have earned that. We just haven't been on the same. Yeah, whatever.
The score is 70-18. So if Lil B and Tenna get a 10-pointer, obviously they win. The iPad goes back over to Lil B and Charch. The password is dance. All right, Charch, you do need a couple big ones, but you do have the option. What would you like to do?
First,
Charch and Gorg for 10.
Macarena.
Dance. Yeah, it was a good one.
That was a good
You
clue.
really
Terrible
you were
song, by the way.
excited.
Well,
Awful song.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Let's not say things we can't take back. That is a great song.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Really?
Brett, stop.
After 7 White Claws, maybe.
No, we're White Claws. Who's drinking that? Grow up. That's like
Grow up,
that's
Peter
like,
Pan.
That's
why-
like 90s hard. That's
All
like
right, all
90s
right.
nostalgia.
There's no laws when you're drinking claws. All right. The iPad goes back. The score is 70-28.
We're aware.
10 and Lil B still. Well, the listeners may not. They're on match point. iPad goes over to Gorg and Tenna B. The password is act. All right, Gorg, you have the option. What would you like to do?
We'll go first.
Gorg and Charch for 10.
Perform.
Act. All right, there we go. The final score will look better than
The old backdoor cover.
Everyone is loving this
Sweating
except
these
for
out
Nick
for
Mann.
decades.
Your score 70-38, clawing back one 10-pointer at a
I see
time.
what you did there.
The iPad goes back over to Lil B in charge. The password is crab. All right, Charch, what would you like to do? You have the option.
Give him that 5-second counter there, Brett.
Second.
Wow.
Oh, for the win.
Tenna and Lil B for 10 in the win.
Sebastian.
Mermaid.
Back over to Charch and Gorg for 9.
Claws.
Bear.
Over to Tenna and Lil B for 8.
Lobster. My God.
I know who you're talking.
Gorg and
Crustacean.
Charch for
Claw.
7. Oh, no. Back over to
I got it now.
Lil
I'm
B
sorry I
and
didn't get
Tenna
it
for
last
I
time.
wish that was the clue I gave you last turn.
Cranky.
Crab.
Will be.
Is that from Little Mermaid or was I off? Okay. At least I was on the right track.
What's Sebastian?
The crab in Little
I have
Mermaid.
no idea what that is.
Little kids.
I knew it was from a Disney movie, but I wasn't sure which one.
I thought it was She's the Man. Wasn't Sebastian the guy in She's the Man?
I think it was.
What's She's the Man?
Oh, for crying
Oh,
out
you've seen
loud.
that
Hand me the thing. Good Lord. How have you not seen She's the Man?
Amanda
It's right in your
Bynes.
wheelhouse.
I haven't.
What do you mean?
Prime time. By the way, if you're in my generation, Krusty would have been a great one.
Krusty, yeah, that's good.
iPad goes
Krusty
over.
Krab.
The score is 76-38.
Come on, Tenna.
4 points or more. And Tenna and Lil B
Changes nothing.
Our back is now against the wall.
Come on, Tenna.
iPad goes over to Gorg and Tenna. The password is swallow. Gorg, you have the option still. Your back is against the wall. What would you like to do?
We're going first.
All right.
Gorg and Charch for 10.
Drink.
Beverage.
10 and Lil B for 9 in the win.
Gulp.
Chug. Damn it. Lil B.
Charch and Gorg for 8.
Beverage.
Over to Tenna and Lil B for 7 in the win.
Spits.
Swallow.
Should have done that on the first one.
I was thinking it was that, and then I wasn't sure. So I should have just said it
Drink,
right away.
beverage. I didn't, we didn't tie it together.
Gulp.
I was going for noun on that, not verb. Yeah, bummer.
Thanks for playing.
We got
That
done
was
in
fun.
time.
Pretty
We got done in time.
That's a win for everybody.
Everybody goes home happy.
Yep.
Charch, Fantasy Football World. You can get that
Yes.
podcast, I'm assuming, will that be later tonight or tomorrow?
That'll be available, I believe, actually now, but also, very importantly, airs right here on this station.
Are you on
Saturdays.
KFAN tomorrow?
Well,
Because we have the
normally-
Vikings game.
Normally it is Saturdays at 10. Because of the Vikings game tomorrow, it'll air tonight on KFAN.
What
You
time
can
will that
hear it
be?
live. I don't know the exact time.
Well,
I'm
just
assuming
don't turn the dial.
I'm assuming like 6:30
Yeah,
or 7.
just don't turn the dial.
So,
I would say
yeah.
7.
7. Yeah,
But
let's
download
go.
it,
You wouldn't want to interrupt Fan on
podcast
Demand.
it. You got to have it. It's
Yes,
the best.
It is the best.
Reach around, man. I can't wait.
An hour of reach arounds.
Saying reach around.
But that's what you have to do if you're going to have success.
You
in
do
the
need-
world
you
of
need to
fantasy
reach around.
football.
You know that.
You got to have the reach around.
Yes,
Clearly, she
You
doesn't
know
listen to
that.
the show.
Wow.
No.
You need to listen to
She's
Fantasy Football
She's the
World.
man. She's lost all credibility.
Charch, Gorg, love you too, as
Thank
always.
you,
Thank you
guys.
for coming. Lil B, you're the best.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for not getting too mad at me. Brett, on the other side of this break, speaking of fantasy football, I have another fantasy football league winner that I have to release. We're doing the tight end position today. And then Dan Hayes of The Athletic joins in about 15 minutes.
Don't rock the boat. You're on board.
Teachers give so much, and now it's our turn to give back. With iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, it's powered by Donors Choose. You nominate an outstanding public school teacher who goes above and beyond for their students. They can win $5,000 for their classroom and supplies and resources. Nominate now, iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
I He's Brett Blakemore. I am Tennaby. 2 more segments of the Tennafitzgerald before we roll into the weekend. We are talking with Dan Hayes of The Athletic next segment to talk about that Field of Dreams baseball game between the Twins and the Phillies last evening. But it's my final chance to give you a fantasy football league winner for the week. As the week's gone along, Brett, we had quarterback Kyler Murray was my league winner at the quarterback position, and that was before he was announced as the number 1 starter. So I had the vision on that one. Running back Devon Achane of the Miami Dolphins was my league winner at the running back position. At the wide receiver position, you missed this one the other day, Brett. Luther Burden III, wide receiver of the Chicago Bears.
Do you want to update that? Or
why, to get re-hurt again?
I'm pretty sure, didn't he?
Well, he got hurt, but he's supposed to be back for the regular season. But I had already landed on it before when I did the segment the other day,
he was hurt.
We already knew he was hurt, yeah. But he's supposed to be back for the regular season. Today,
so we're doing tight ends.
Fantasy football league winner at the tight end position. And I actually do think this is a good year in general to hold off on the tight end position because, like tight ends 7 through 10 right now are like Kyle Pitts, Harold Fannin, George Kittle, Travis Kelce, like 4 guys that you could depend on a week-to-week basis. They can all give you decent production. Even
Kyle Pitts, I don't know.
Well, he had 4 touchdowns in a game last year. Oh. He ended up as like one of the top tight ends. I know a lot of it was because of that game, but throughout the entire season. And he got paid.
Quarterback is.
But even like, I could make a case for Isaiah Likely at number 11, right? Going to the New York Giants. Or Jake Ferguson at number 13. Like, he's a quality tight end who you can put in your lineup and not be too concerned about. But I am going to go up a little bit higher. I'm not going to drop down too low to get one of those tight ends. And I believe that your league winner at the tight end position this year, sophomore tight end for the Indianapolis Colts, Tyler Warren.
Oh my gosh, you are above average at that.
Tyler Warren, rookie last year, and usually rookie tight ends struggle. Not Tyler Warren. 76 catches, that was 6th in the NFL. 817 yards, that was 5th. 4 touchdowns, that wasn't great. But he also had 112 targets. So out of any tight end in the league, he was 3rd in the league from tight ends in targets as a rookie. He also had 6 rushes for 8 yards, and he scored a touchdown. I think they will, especially if Jonathan Taylor were to get hurt, I think they'll throw him into more some gadget stuff. He even attempted a pass. He's a little bit of a Swiss Army knife. He can do multiple things. I'd have to think year 2 they'll be more comfortable with that. He finished last year as tight end 4, and maybe he would have finished better if Daniel Jones hadn't got injured, because his stats did decline once Daniel Jones got that injury. Jones, from all reports, back and healthy. He finished 2nd among all tight ends in total yards after the catch last season, which is a coveted skill when trying to identify breakouts at that position. The Colts last year, they were top 6 in RPOs. Michael Pittman was top 6 in RPOs. Michael Pittman is now gone. He's in Pittsburgh. Where do you think those RPOs are going to go to? That would be to Tyler Warren. So you have a healthy Daniel Jones, one of their best wide receivers now in Pittsburgh, Michael Pence. The wide receiver they just paid this offseason, and Alec Pierce, he's injured. And Warren is just a stud tight end who had a very, very good rookie season. Reason to believe he'll get better in year 2. Currently listed as tight end 4, but he's also 54th overall. I think he's going to smash those. You can get him in the 5th round. You can. We talked about this with Kyler Murray, right? You can load up on running backs and wide receivers in the first 4 picks. You don't think like you have to spend up to get a Trey McBride or a Brock Bowers. Wait till the 5th round. Grab up Tyler Warren, because he will be your league winner.
So it should be
at the tight end position.
It should be stated that you're not building a team here. You're giving value picks. You're not building a team of Kyler Murray, Achane, Burden, and Warren. You're saying those are good sleeper picks.
I can have all 4 of those picks, and then I'm drafting studs elsewhere.
So you are building a team.
Well, sure. I mean, Devon Achane is going to go in the 2nd round.
Yeah.
Tyler Warren's going to go in the 5th round.
Okay.
Burden's probably also in that 5th roundish. So I can spend on those guys. Kyler Murray, I can slough quarterback until 10th, 11th, 12th round. And now I can smash in the 1st round. I can smash in the 3rd round.
All right.
Because I have these guys that are also going to smash, but I'm getting them later on.
I had Tucker Kraft already written. I had to backspace it out.
If he wasn't hurt, I mean, he was tight end number 1 last year until he got hurt.
Yeah.
All right,
I like it.
We have a couple minutes before we get to Dan Hayes. Let's get back to our Wild fan survey. Maybe we can just do one or two of these. Here we go, Brett. Jared Spurgeon is entering the last year of his contract. If this is it in Minnesota for the Wild lifer, who should be the next captain? Matt Boldy, Joel Eriksson-Ek, Brock Faber, Marcus Foligno, Quinn Hughes, or Kirill Kaprizov?
Yeah, I'm smashing the Brock Faber button here. He just seems like a leader. Good dude. Yeah, you've got the story as well. One of Us, Maple Grove, all that. So, but I just like it from
second best defenseman ever to come out of Maple Grove after me.
That's correct.
He's the second best.
So I just like that story and that angle, and he'll be here for a long time. Give me Brock Faber.
Yeah, I would say Brock Faber as well. The Spurgeon one will be interesting next offseason because assuming the Wild sign Quinn Hughes, which maybe that's an assumption we shouldn't make, but Quinn Hughes is going to make in this $17 to $20 million range. Kirill Kaprizov is now into his $17 million contract. So next year, going to be up against the cap, and you're going to have to make some decisions with some guys financially. And you look at Jared Spurgeon and making that, $7.5 million. I think I'm assuming at this point next year, he'll still be able to play in the National Hockey League. I don't see him dropping off. And a guy, they don't really have a lot of right shot options behind him ready to take his spot. Maybe because he spent his whole career here, he might just give you the hometown discount, and that would be best for business. But could be interesting because they can't pay him $7.5 million again next year. Using the golf analogy, where would you say Jared Spurgeon's at? Like, is he on 16 green? Is he teeing off on 17? How far along are we here? 15. He's got a couple. We got time. He's got a couple holes left. Yeah, he's got a couple holes left. But his contract is on 18. Correct. So that's what I'm saying. And you can't come back and spend that same amount of money on him next year. So either he's going to have to take a pay cut, and I don't know whether he's willing to do that. Maybe he will because he's raised his family here. They've been here their entire career. Or, maybe he wants to make more money elsewhere. I don't know. Real quickly, but then you also are going to have a hard time filling his spot because you don't have currently a right shot defenseman in your system that's going to move up and take his spot. The last question of the survey is, do you think the Wild will be able to pull off a Larkin trade? 68% of Wild fans said no. That's sad. I still think yes. Well, I still think it'll happen. The problem is we're just getting delayed here quite a bit. But, the Wild clearly are leaving a spot open for him. Yeah. And frankly, the longer it goes, the harder it is for Larkin to fit in somewhere else because all the other teams have filled up their spots and filled up their rosters as well. All right, let's talk Minnesota Twins baseball. They were in the Field of Dreams game last night in your home state of Iowa. Let's talk with Dan Hayes of The Athletic next. All right, welcome back to the Tennafitzgerald final segment of the week. I will be back on Monday, noon to 3, and then Common will finally be back on Tuesday. I know we have some appearances out at Vikings training camp. We'll do some shows out there for the joint practices next week against the Baltimore Ravens. Now pleased to be joined by Dan Hayes, who covers the Minnesota Twins for The Athletic. He was in Iowa last night for the Field of Dreams game, and I mostly care more about stuff that happened away from the game than actually at the game. That's why I had to have Dan back on. Dan, thanks for your time again. I think second time in 3 days. How did the trip go? How did the travel go to the Field of Dreams game?
Yeah, it was a lot easier than I think they've done a really good job the last couple of years. And I asked some fans too who that was one of the big concerns was like apparently the previous 2 times was just a parking lot. And I know the other day I said that they had all porta potties a couple of years ago. And,
yeah.
And there was running water and everything.
Wow.
It really went smooth. Like I was impressed by the facility. It's clear they put in a lot of work. And it turned out to be, this was more than a game. It was the game itself was secondary to everything else that went on. And, it was kind of spectacular to look up and the bleachers they put in, to look and see that there were 7,000 people at this game. And get to share that spectacle was pretty impressive.
How was the traffic? You made it seem like you were concerned about the 1 lane in, 1 lane out. Did that go all right?
Yeah, that was easy. I was shocked. They figured it out. Because I talked to John Bonus this morning because they were planning on tailgating post game last night because it used to be like a parking lot in the post game, like 2-hour wait and stuff like that. And they said they got back to their hotel fast. So clearly the planners figured some things out in the last 4 years, and beyond making the facility better. It was really cool. Like, I was shocked at how smooth and easy things were. And, you know, once you get past that, once the logistics are out of the way, like, you can really sit there and appreciate what the event is. Because, you know, one thing you don't want to do, and I'm sure they learned this from the first two, is that if you make getting there so difficult, it's harder to enjoy the moment. And when you can enjoy the moment, you get to look up and go, there's 26 Hall of Famers on the field right here. This is incredible. That was the most Hall of Famers that attended a game since the 2008 All-Star Game. Obviously, every year they get together in Cooperstown for the Hall of Fame. But there were 26 guys there to look around and see Paul Molitor and, you know, Trevor Hoffman, Joe Mauer, you know, Lee Smith, who one time I played on his team in the pickup basketball game, and he fed me an assist. And
wow.
I made the basket. It toilet bowled around and it barely went in. And he said famously to me, "Don't be messing with my assists, man." And it was the greatest moment of my life.
Genius.
Lee Smith. Like, so to see him on the field in his baseball uniform and not as a coach at spring training, but it was a cool moment. Like, you know, you get there and you remember all the stuff about the movie that you love, and it certainly was a really unique, incredible day.
Yeah, I was going to say that, you know, sometimes with an event like this, it almost can feel like it's forced, right? Like, this movie was a long time ago. A lot of these players playing weren't even born when the movie came out. Yet it does appear that, like, a lot of these players and, you know, the Hall of Famers and, you know, you got Cody Clemens playing catch with his dad. Like, it does seem like there were some sincere, like, genuine feelings and emotions regarding this game.
I think one of the comments I saw, I think it was Kyle Schwarber, saying that seeing the Hall of Famers, and some of those guys were welling up, just so excited to be there. You know, you could tell that there was a deep appreciation, because I think more guys talked about how, you know, like, let's be honest, this isn't, when I think about my favorite baseball movies, it's a great movie. Don't get me wrong, but, you know, it's a little sappy, and it clearly goes for the emotional heartstrings. Like, I wouldn't even put it probably in my top 4 or 5 baseball movies, but it still strikes a chord. And, like, you could tell that guys appreciated the message. And there were so many guys that played catch with their kids. One of the cooler things, I think, to write about it, but Corey Provis, for the first time ever, got to attend the game with his son yesterday, because the game wasn't on Twins TV. Obviously, it was on Netflix, and so he had no broadcasting duties. So he's walking around with Cooper, his son, and they're going to the game. And it was like, he was so excited to share a game with his son. You know, and he goes to the ballpark every day, 162 games a year. And, like, this place just kind of brings out some special memories for people. A lot of guys had watched it with their dads. You know, the Clemens moment was cool, especially because Roger wore that 1936 Boston Red Sox throwback jersey. And yeah, you could tell that's not something you can fake. And I think the fact that it is unique and it broke up what typically is just a regular homestand in the middle of August, which is one of the more trying times of the year, because you're the final 40 games and you've been doing it, and guys just get, you know, it gets not necessarily monotonous, but it's certainly, that's where the grind comes in this part of the season. I think doing this probably, you know, breaks up the schedule a little bit and lets guys, you know, remember what they're there for. And it was a lot of recognition of that, especially when you're, like, on the field and you look over and, you know, there's Paul Molitor with his son on the railing. Justin Morneau and his son are watching batting practice. You look over, there's Barry Bonds and Albert Pujols holding court with, like, Zebby Matthews. And, you know, Luis Arraez made his way over. Like, it was surreal to be in this cornfield, but also the amount of stars on hand. Beyond that 26 Hall of Famers, there were, like, you know, Bonds, Pujols, Clemens, Anthony Rizzo's out there, like, guys who were really accomplished in their careers. So it really made for an all-encompassing kind of day.
I have to ask you now, what are your top 4, top 5 baseball movies, since you don't have Field of Dreams up there?
Yeah, number 1, Bull Durham. Number 2, Major League, but that's really close.
Yeah.
Like, that's a very tight one, too. I like the other sappy emotional. I like The Natural. That's my 3. And actually, I love A League of Their Own. I'll put that as 4. Tom Hanks in that. With the cutoff man scene alone, You Got to Hit the Cutoff Man is maybe one of my top 5 movie scenes in any movie across any movie anywhere. So those are my top 4, and I guess The Natural's up there. I mean, Field of Dreams is up there, but I mean, there's so many good ones. I mean, The Sandlot's great, and you think of the kids ones, and so yeah.
I'm disappointed Little Big League is not on your top 5.
Hey, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
It's a great movie, and Night Nurses in New Jersey is an all-timer moment. So.
All right, he's Dan Hayes from The Athletic. He was in Iowa last night for the Field of Dreams game. Let's talk about the actual game where the Twins lose by a score of 7-1. Kyle Schwarber, 2 home runs. He opens the game by putting one into the corn, and then he puts one in off of Luke Keeschall's glove. I'm assuming that was an interesting conversation with Luke Keeschall after that game.
You know what? Luke is really the thing I like about him is how accountable he is. He's sort of like that guy that he says he's a ball player, put him anywhere, and he's going to play it, and he's going to do it. Like, this is a guy that could make an excuse all he wanted. He's played 39 games in the majors in the outfield, and he's a shortstop in college. He's played something like 70 games total in between the Cape Cod League and the minors and the majors in the outfield. So he's learning on the fly. And we saw this with Royce Lewis in Seattle maybe 10 days ago on that weird play that ended the game where he tried for a double play by tagging first base first. You know, if Royce Lewis is out there 500 times, Royce Lewis makes that play instinctually because you just learn it. I think Luke Keeschall, to get there in the first place, that was a weird ball. And there were some strange conditions, and everybody on both teams was talking about the wind and how much it impacted stuff. Like, I think Schwarber he hit the 2 home runs, but I think he actually hit the balls to center harder and further, and the wind just knocked both those down. I mean, Schwarber could have easily, on a hot day, because this was kind of a mild day for Iowa. It was like 70 degrees. If it was a 95-degree day, we might very well be talking about Kyle Schwarber having had 4 home runs, and at the least like 3 home runs and a double. But Keeschall goes all out for that, gets there, and he went a long way to get it. And it hit off his glove, and he said afterwards that he probably should have caught it, and it would have changed the game. And like he doesn't shy away from that, and I think he's the kind of guy that can learn from this stuff. And he's had a tough time out there. I mean, his defensive runs saved are not good in the outfield. He's played both center and right, and you can say it's been challenging. He's had some really good moments, and he's had some tough ones. But the one thing that he's doing that some of their other guys that were struggling offensive or defensively were not doing is he's hitting a ton. I mean, like, we're talking about, a 402 on base percentage for the last 3.5 months. And you got to find a way to get that bat in the lineup. And I think he's an athletic enough guy that over time he's going to figure this out. I mean, he's seeing stuff for the first time, and he's just willing to do it, for the team. Whatever is best for the team, I'm going to do. And he said afterwards he's got to try and not think about it too much because there's a game tomorrow, and obviously there's no game today. But I think he's got the right mindset, and that's a guy that's out there every day, early on before they take the field for batting practice, working with Grady Sizemore, trying to figure this out. So the effort's definitely there, and I think the execution will follow. This is a guy who is just so talented, and you can understand why the Twins really never wanted to trade him at that deadline in 2024. He was the guy they were getting asked about the most, and they just kept rebuffing those offers because he's an on-base machine, and he's starting to figure out the power side of it too. We've seen him with a lot more pop these last couple months, and I mean, honestly, Give me 9 Luke Keeschalls. That dude, he can play. Is an unfortunate moment, but it's also one I think he's kind of strong enough to get past and learn from.
Taj Bradley only went 4 innings. He gave up 7 hits, walked 4. He gave up those 2 home runs, 5 runs overall. How do you evaluate the season Taj Bradley's had? Because it almost seems like he's had some just streaks both ways, right? He's had some good streaks where it's like, this guy's a cornerstone of our rotation for years to come. And then he has streaks where he's struggling a little bit, and he struggled last night. How do you evaluate his season?
Yeah, you're exactly right on that. I mean, but the upside is clearly there. I think even with some weird stretches, I think the ERA is like 3.8 right now for the season. The strikeout stuff is there. It's inconsistent at times, and we've seen that. I think that's a young guy that is still figuring himself out. I mean, but the stuff is, it's 99, 100 miles an hour, and then a wipeout cutter, and, the split is sometimes inconsistent, and that can determine how his outing goes. But I think when you look at what he's been able to do, you can live with those ups and downs and hope that this is something that he also figures out, because he's definitely a guy who's grown in that clubhouse. You can tell he's confident. That first inning was really rough, and it could have gotten really out of hand. It's a challenging Phillies lineup, and to come away with, being down 2-0 and having the bases loaded and only end up with giving up the 2 was good. If Luke Keeschel makes that catch, Taj Bradley is at that point through 4 with 2 runs, and the Twins are right in that game. But that said, he walked a guy to get in the position to face Schwarber, and the walks have been something that he has to battle. Like, this is a constant battle for him throughout the season and his career, and he's got to do a better job of kind of limiting that and getting in the strike zone and trusting his stuff, because his stuff can beat almost anybody. Maybe not 2-0 fastballs down and into Kyle Schwarber, who's a notorious fastball hitter, but when he's throwing 95, 97 at the top of the zone, I think he can kind of beat anybody, and I think we'll see him continue to develop. They are encouraged with what they've seen. But, you want it perfect. You want it to be Pablo Lopez down the stretch of 2023, or how Joe Ryan can go on runs. The one thing we haven't really seen Taj Bradley do is go like on a 15-start stretch where he has a 2 ERA, but the capability is certainly there.
We're talking with Dan Hayes of The Athletic. Byron Buxton activated for that game yesterday. He returned. He got a double. I know he chatted with the media. What was the conversation like with him, both about his injury and about the experience of playing last night?
Yeah, the injury, I think that's one of the better signs, is that, apparently Monday, and I was not with the team Monday, but Monday he was very hyped about how he felt and wasn't feeling like he was reserved at all. And last night he said that same thing. He's not focused on being cautious. Like, he knows that the hip is not in his mind right now when he's on the field. And that's a great place to be, just because then you just worry about managing it, and he knows how to do that. You gotta, there's gonna be a lot of time in that training room, but he also is playing with some mental ease, which is exactly what you want him to be, because I think we saw at times when he came back after the All-Star game, he wasn't running at full speed, and last night on the double, he really had to show that he could and did it easily, and he beat out a double play. It looked like at one point out of the box, he might ground into double play, and then he turned it on and beat out that throw. And that's when Byron Buxton is going good. As far as the experience, that was cool, because he said that the Hall of Fame moment really snuck up on him, and that he appreciated it. He looked over and he saw Fergie Jenkins, the legendary Cubs pitcher, standing there, and he said the thing he remembered the most was the way his dad always talked about, if you're going to pitch, that's how you pitch, just like Fergie Jenkins. And like looking over and there's Fergie Jenkins on the field, he was in awe. And he also said that it also makes him realize, he looks over and there's Paul Molitor, there's Joe Mauer, and there's Jim Cott. And those guys are fixtures at Target Field. And yet here they are amongst these all-time greats. And he said, it made me think sometimes we take them for granted, how amazing these players were, because they're just around us all the time. But I think that he got some real good perspective from it. He was one of a number of guys. So when I arrived at, I think it was like 1:45, and the game was at 6:30. So when I arrived at 1:45, we walk up, and the baseball field is about 200 yards down from the movie set, the farmhouse and the original cornfield and all that stuff. And when I walked up, there were a number of Twins players out at the movie set, just walking around with fans, talking to fans, taking pictures, doing that kind of stuff. And Byron got to play catch with his son. And it was so cool. Like, you could just tell what it meant to him, that his 12-year-old son was there with him and getting to take in the moment. And I think a lot of guys like that. The Schwarber quote was amazing afterwards. He was like, one day I'm going to get to show my kids the movie, and then we get to show them the video of dad playing there. And like that is so cool. Like it maybe we'll bump the movie up to fourth now in my rankings after this event. But like it just made it overall interesting day. And like Byron really was geeked to be there for that and take in the events.
I want to ask you, I'm clearly not watching Twins baseball as much as you are. I'm not doing it on an everyday basis. I also don't see the National League very much, nor do the Twins. It's still odd for me to see like Luis Arraez and Joan Duran in different uniforms. Is that something that's still weird for you to see, or because you're around it so much, like it doesn't faze you at all?
Okay, look, I have a couple friends on that Phillies reporting, the beat reporters, and they were sitting directly behind us. And I had just come back from the bathroom and Duran's warming up, and I turned around and I was like, "Oh, really? You guys got to like pour some gas on the fire already? Like, haven't you guys had enough already? It's 7-1, and here's Duran closing out the game in the 9th inning." It's surreal. I mean, Luis Arraez is one of my favorite all-time guys that I've covered. When we were in the Zoom era. When I'm on Zoom, like, I don't know what it is, but my eyes always look like they're closed. And he'd always say, "Dan, no sleeping." I'm like wide awake. I'm the first person in the Zoom and he's giving me crap. Luis Arraez is a funny guy and he's an excellent hitter. Like, you think about what he's done over the course of his career. 3 batting titles in the majors, 1 at Cedar Rapids in the minors. He's just a constant force at the plate, and now he's figured out how to play some second base, which was always where's he going to play? But the Giants hooked him up with Ron Washington in spring training this year and turned him into a potential Gold Glove second baseman, and now Philly's kind of reaping the benefits of that after the trade. And so it was certainly it's just weird because you see those guys and that they were really talented with the Twins, and you wish it could have happened with the Twins. And Arraez, he was on that 2019 bomb squad. He got to the playoffs in 2020 with the Twins. But if he could have been around forever, that's a fan favorite. So that's always tough. And Duran, that man, watching him grow was just incredible. And to see him hitting 104 and knowing all the stuff, the work that went into that, and just the guy he is, where he, self-taught himself these one-liners. His wife insisted he learn English, and it really, like, the confidence grew over time, and it was so fun to watch him. Seeing those guys out there, it's like, these guys were so young when they got to the Twins, and seeing them now, it's like, oh, they're accomplished older players, and it's fun to see, but it's certainly, especially if you're a Twins fan, it's tough to see. So even for a reporter, you're going, man, what could have been? And it's understandable, like, that fans have those attachments.